What if I told you that the busiest human beings in history aren't who you think? Not CEOs, factory workers, or students cramming for finals, but us, right here, in the modern world. The very people we imagine struggling to survive, hunter-gatherers, may have lived a life more balanced, less stressful, and with far more free time than we do. Imagine this. Instead of the hustle and grind of modern life, you're in a world where work means gathering berries in the morning, hunting with your tribe, and then kicking back by the fire to share stories under the stars. Studies reveal early humans spent only 4 to 6 hours a day on survival tasks, leaving them plenty of time for socializing, creativity, and even relaxation. When you think of hunter-gatherers, what comes to mind? Struggling to find food? Constant danger from wild animals? Or maybe just a bleak existence filled with endless hard labor? That's the story we've been told for generations, and it's one we've been quick to believe. But what if this narrative is completely wrong? Anthropologists and historians have been re-examining the lives of these early humans, and the evidence is fascinating. Far from being overworked and stressed, our ancestors might have had more downtime than we can even imagine. Here's the kicker. It wasn't because life was easier back then. They faced harsh environments, predators, and the constant challenge of finding food. Yet somehow, they structured their lives to meet their basic needs without sacrificing time for family, culture, and even creativity. The big question is, how did they pull this off? And could we learn something from their way of life to ease the pressures of our modern world? For thousands of years, humans have been chasing one thing: progress. Bigger farms, faster machines, more efficient systems. And on paper, it all looks great. We produce more food than ever, have gadgets to save us time, and live in a world of infinite convenience. So why are we more stressed and burnt out than any generation before us? The problem isn't progress itself, it's how we've structured our lives around it. In our pursuit of efficiency, we've ended up with packed schedules, endless to-do lists, and barely a moment to breathe. Compare that to early hunter-gatherers who had no technology, no permanent homes, and no grocery stores. How did they have the time to, live? To understand this paradox, we need to dig into the nuts and bolts of their daily lives. What exactly did they do all day? And how could their simple lifestyle hold the secret to solving one of modern society's biggest problems, the epidemic of overwork? Hunter-gatherers lived by one simple rule: meet your needs with the least effort possible. And it worked. Anthropological studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies, like the Kung of the Kalahari Desert and the Hadza of Tanzania, show that they typically spent 4 to 6 hours per day on essential tasks like hunting, gathering, cooking, and tool-making. The rest? Free time. And this wasn't just sitting around bored. They used it to bond with their community, tell stories, create art, and even innovate. For example, cave paintings found in France and Spain, some over 30,000 years old, suggest that creativity and culture were central to their lives. Here's the surprising part. They didn't need to. The natural world provided enough resources to sustain small mobile groups without overexertion. By foraging a variety of plants and hunting strategically, they maintained a balanced diet and avoided the pitfalls of agricultural societies, like dependency on a single crop. In fact, overworking could have been counterproductive. Spending too much time hunting or gathering would deplete local resources and force them to move more frequently. Instead, they struck a balance, ensuring both survival and sustainability. Of course, their lives weren't all sunshine and rainbows. Predators, injuries, and disease were real threats. But here's the thing. These challenges didn't consume their entire existence. In fact, their communal way of life often helped them overcome obstacles. They shared resources, took care of the sick, and worked together to ensure everyone's survival. This sense of community wasn't just practical, it was deeply fulfilling. Studies show that strong social bonds were a cornerstone of their happiness and resilience. Everything shifted about 10,000 years ago when humans started farming. Agriculture allowed for larger, more permanent settlements, but it came with a cost: longer workdays, stricter schedules, and new social hierarchies. Suddenly, people had to plow fields, tend crops, and store food for the future. This led to a surplus, but also to inequality. Those who controlled the surplus gained power over others. Here's the mind-blowing takeaway. The primitive lifestyle of hunter-gatherers might actually hold the key to solving modern problems. Their focus on sustainability, community, and work-life balance is something we've lost in our pursuit of progress. Think about it. They lived without alarm clocks, 9-to-5 jobs, or constant notifications, yet they thrived. What if we could adopt even a fraction of their mindset to reduce stress, reconnect with our communities, and find more time for the things that truly matter? The question isn't whether we can go back to their way of life. That's impossible. But can we move forward in a way that combines the best of both worlds? Hunter-gatherers weren't just survivors. They were innovators, artists, and community builders. They remind us that a fulfilling life doesn't have to be packed with endless work. Sometimes less really is more. So, as you go about your busy day, remember, the secret to a better life might not be in doing more, but in finding the right balance, just like our ancestors did thousands of years ago.